All right. Hello, Barry. How are you doing today?
Exceptionally well, thank you, Maxie. How are you, sir?
Very, very good. I'm excited to be recording the fourth episode, going over Facebook ads.
Looking forward to it. Something I've never been as good as I wanted to be, and I know being in the proximity is key. So I'm looking forward to learning from you as much as anything.
Yes, yes. So, as a real estate agent, did you ever run any Facebook ads?
Yes, consistently, no. Successfully, because of lack of consistency and really tracking them, no. I've had some success, but not anywhere near the success level you've had, and what I believe a real estate agent should have with it.
Yes, yeah. Well, they're a tricky thing to master, and I definitely haven't mastered them. That's for sure. So, but I've learned a lot, probably more than most real estate agents. But yeah, there's still some people in the industry that are just spend hours and hours each day doing it. But I think I've got a good knack to it. So what we'll do is we're going to go over a few things. Firstly, setting up a campaign and just setting up a campaign to generate some seller leads, because I mean that's pretty relevant to all real estate agents across the world, really. So I'm going to show you an example of how to do that and some little tricks about how to set up your ads campaign right, no matter what campaign you're doing.
Fantastic. I mean, I know here in America some people don't believe it, but listing sellers is the lifeblood of any successful real estate or estate agency. So I'm looking forward to seeing it too.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. All right, let's get this shared. All right, you can see that okay?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. All right, so what we're going to do first, you're going to end up at a page similar to this. Um, these are all the ads in the last sort of few days for EXP, but we're going to use this as an example. What we're going to do is, here we've got all these different options. So as you can see, there's awareness, there is traffic, there is engagement, leads, which is a really good one, and then app promotion and sales are more like e-commerce based stuff.
Now, Max, just in a quick 15 seconds, because that's overwhelming in itself, six different ones. What's kind of the quick run through of, in about 10 seconds or so, of how do you understand the difference between engagement, leads, sales, and awareness, for example?
All right, so engagement is like you got a post and you want to get likes, comments, video views and stuff on it. So that would be if you want to just boost a post so it looks like that post is really popular. Traffic is going to anywhere, so going to your website, landing page, as it also tells you here down the side, so it says link clicks, landing page. Awareness is pretty broad, and it's usually the one that I wouldn't use for pretty much anything unless you're just trying to get lots of people looking at your content.
Okay.
And then leads is the one that we're going to use for this, and it's basically Facebook finds the people who are most likely to be a lead on your ad. So it sort of filters it right. Leads usually is the best way to go. Leads or traffic for a real estate ad. So these two. Pick one of them. I would choose leads because you can make in Facebook leads, which I find really cool. And it's almost more engaging because people don't have to go outside of Facebook to fill in your lead form. Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to name the campaign. So example, seller leads ad set, we're going to say. So here, this is the overarching campaign. So that's like the goal, the objective of the campaign, which is what we've selected here. The objective is leads. The ad set, which we'll get into next, is who you're targeting and so your budget and the demographics, etc. So what we're going to do is we're going to do example
Now, I'm assuming as
seller.
you're doing this, every country is going to have different rules in terms of demographics. Here the rules in the US are going to be different to Australia and so forth.
Slightly, yeah. It depends a bit. So you gotta suss it out for yourself. But as a general rule, this will work pretty well. So I've copied an ad that Mike Sherrard did once, and it worked perfectly in Australia.
Great, thank you.
All right. So example seller ad. So the ad is the creative. So when you add in the images and the text and stuff. So that's what people see. Basically think about it like this. What people see is here, the ad. Who sees it is here, the ad set. And this is the goal, the objective of the ad. All right, so we're going to press continue, and we're going to do manual leads campaign. This is garbage.
Fair enough. Appreciate your
That's
honesty.
cool. That's paying Mark Zuckerberg, that one. All right. In Australia, I'm not sure if it's different depending on where you are, but always click a real estate or housing ad category. So lots of people get their ad accounts blocked. People complain about it heaps, but if you got your housing or real estate category as a special ad category on Facebook, usually at 95% of the time it'll be fine.
Typically, you find that in 99% of the countries as well as the same. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. All right, we'll leave all this. Don't turn on these.
Is that stuff you've already pre-put in there, or was that just
no?
Okay.
This is all automatic. So this is just Facebook saying you can change any of this stuff. So the only thing that we've done so far is name the ad set. So we've got the campaign here, the ad set, and the ad. So all we've done is named each one respectively. So here, first thing that you can do. So now we're in the ad set. So this is who we're targeting and the demographics and where we're sending them. So here's the conversion. So you can choose to send people to your website. So if you've got a really good landing page to generate seller leads, you can just go straight to that. That's good enough. If you don't, or if you want it to perform really well, you can actually keep them in Facebook and use this thing called an instant form. And what that does is Facebook generates a form, and you can customize the form, and they fill it out in Facebook. So it's really easy for them to do. All right, so performance goal, maximize number of conversion leads, perfect. Facebook page, perfect. You can integrate your CRM, but for simplicity, I'm not going to do that. But you just follow that setup button. Budget. So here's where it gets interesting. So if you're a new agent, you might not want to spend $20 a day. I think $20 a day is a great place to start, and it is very effective.
Why do you say that? What's the $20 marker for you?
I just think anything under, it doesn't have enough. It's almost like you're in a car and you don't have enough fuel. So it's like you can go really fast, but you can't go very far. With the $20 a day, the reach is better, and it has the power to get out to the amount of people that you're targeting. I think that's the best. Any more is it can almost flood it. It doesn't have enough people to target, so it's got too much power. I think $20 is perfect. But the good thing about this is that over 3 days, you can just spend $60. And if it's not working after 3 days, you can change it, or you can just stop it, which is the power of these Facebook ads. Pretty good. So I would say anywhere between $15 and $20. If you find that the ad's working really well, you can move it up to $30 and see how that works. You might need to change the demographics, because you think about it like this. You got like this little group that not little, but you got a group of people that you're targeting. If you hit them with the same ad over and over and over and over, they're going to get blind to the ad. So sometimes if you if you add up the budget, you also need to change or add in more ads. So like ad creatives that they see. So they're seeing different things rather than the same thing. Because when you think about it, the more budget you spend, the more they're going to see it. So the more blind they become to the ad if it's the same thing.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yes, yep. All right, start date, that's pretty obvious. We'll just leave it at that. Audience, so this is where it gets cool. So for someone, I'm going to use an example of what I did at the Gold Coast. The Gold Coast is in Australia. It's a nice place in Queensland. We're going to say Gold Coast. So I would go obviously where, like around the city that you sell in. So if you sell in multiple suburbs in the Gold Coast, so say you might do Carrara, Broadbeach and Mermaid Waters, see that that's a huge radius. So that goes all the way up nearly to Brisbane. So that's like a 50 kilometre radius, or it should say somewhere, 40 kilometre radius. So you might want to scale that down to 20 kilometres. So it's everyone inside that little area around where you sell. But it's not, you don't want to add in each suburb individually, because it excludes people who are in the little suburbs that you've missed, or, you want to just keep it a bit more broad, that location. Otherwise, you're not going to have enough people to target. Age, you can usually leave it at 18 to 65, but if you want to get specific, most people, in Australia, don't really have I'm going to be selling a house under the age of 25 or 30. So I would do like 25 to 65, but that's not really you don't really need to worry about that. The age doesn't affect too much. Gender, that's fine, leave it open. Demographics. So in Australia, I find the best one to use is realestate.com.au, which is, what's the equivalent over where you are, Barry?
It would be Zillow, or in the UK it would be Rightmove. It's basically where people are going, the most populated website where people are looking for homes, basically.
Yeah, portals. So see this, the size here is huge, 2 to 3 million people. So this is anyone interacting with them either on their website or on their social media. So it's people who are, not all of them, like I go onto realestate.com.au and I'm not going to be buying a house in the next 6 months. But like you've also got people on there who are looking to sell or looking for property data on their house when it was last sold, etc., etc. So I find that just leaving it very, broad and just doing realestate.com.au, I find that works really well in Australia. So for the US, you might use Zillow, which there is one there. And you can also go one called Property as well. There's like a general property one, or
it's still specific enough.
Yeah, I find it is. This is stuff that you can play around with. So like real estate, see here, you don't want to click that because that's employers. So if you're running an agent attraction ad, that might be good. Property industry, that will probably be real estate agents. You just have a look through, like property investing, that's a good one. So that can target investors, people who are wanting to buy. But just look through that. There are a lot, and it's sort of specific to the country you're in. But you can search up on Google the best ones in your country because there's lots of lists. Like there's exhaustive lists of demographics to target in each country. I would leave that as it is right there. Always want to go manual placements. So placements are where your ad is shown. So I would go, if you got an Instagram account, which if you're looking at this and you don't have one, then that's stupid. So you need an Instagram account and you need to connect it up. But Facebook and Instagram is great. I would choose these two feeds. So that's in like your Facebook and Instagram feed and your stories and reels feed. So they're the most effective. And I'd take out everything else. None of these. All of these sort of just people, like you think about it when you're on your feed, like you don't want to disrupt people. So when you're on your feed, you're sort of expecting to see ads. When you're watching here, like in-stream ads for videos, when you're watching a video and you get hit with an ad, it's really annoying. So you don't want to do that. Search results, people are usually looking to click on a page. So they're in the process of actually doing something. So that's interrupting them too much. Messages, they seem to not work very well. And apps and sites, that must be external. I'm not really sure.
I was just going to say that really is good advice, just going for those top two there. I wasn't really thinking about it, but I always just think about it if the shoes are on the other foot. When you're on Facebook, when you're on social media, when those ads pop up, like you say, they're going to be there. It is more of a annoyance and disturbance. So as much as you can limit that and make it more flow, the better the results will be. And I think the feeds and the stories and reels is a good advice.
100%, yeah, and it just comes back to where the attention is. So you don't want to disrupt people who are trying to do something because they're just going to look at it and be like, oh, I don't want to see that. All right, so that's good. That's all set up. So that's the ad set done. This might look really confusing, but it's just the way it is. So if you want to do these yourself, it's a process. So I haven't even shown you how to get to the ads manager. You've got to get a business account, get a business manager, and then create the ads manager. So there's a process to even get to here. But once it's all on YouTube, everything's documented on YouTube. So it's really easy to find the information, but you just got to go out and do it. And then once you get to here, this is probably the hardest part, is actually just finding who to target, what to target them with, and what the objective is, because there's so many options to use. But that's just why it's so powerful, is because you can really literally target anyone. Like it's crazy.
But don't overcomplicate it. Don't keep it simple, right? Now,
yeah.
That advice there in 10 minutes has been absolutely to that point.
Yeah, exactly. It's just you got to think about what should work, and usually that will work. So here we got identity. So choose your Facebook page and your Instagram account. So what you can do here, I usually find a single image or video works. An ad I recently did for Frank was, it won't be in here, but what I used was, let's just use this photo. I don't really have anything that replicates it, but what it was is it was like a photo here of a house, and he's giving away at the moment free holidays for appraisals. So down the bottom of the photo of the house, it was free holidays for appraisals. It had his logo in the middle. It had 5-star service, selling your house consistently under 21 days on the market. And what that did is it explained everything in the photo. So even if they didn't read the caption, it actually showed them in the photo. What you can do here is you can get... Pardon me?
I was saying, typically speaking, as human beings, we're visual learners, so to have it there makes perfect sense.
Yeah, 100%. And just the really important sort of, like, the things that will take someone across the line. So the 5-star, under 21 days on market, and the free holiday for appraisal. You can get really fancy here, and you can actually crop these or make your ad creative so it fits a square and it fits the real story size. Otherwise, you can just leave it and it works like that.
Well, and also, without going into too many details here, because we've kind of covered it before, but you could just go into Canva and you could have your images set up there very easy, 5 minutes and away you go.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Right here.
Yeah, 100%. And it's there's no excuse not to do it. But if you really don't want to or you don't have the time, then it'll work if you just use the one square piece. But like, you should have one set up for each. I've made ads and I've found that the results are better when you set them up properly in that size. So primary text, you want to say something eye-catching. You might want to start off with an emoji, so like a house, and saying, we are selling under 21 days on the market. And then you could go like some sort of offer, like how he was doing the holidays for appraisals. You could say, and each appraisal comes with a holiday and 100+ luxury locations, something along those lines.
Well, I was going to say, because you've got the call to action in there as well to give someone a reason to do something.
Yes, yeah, 100%. So let's say you got some text here, blah 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 blah, and then what you want to do is put a little emoji. I find this works really well, and put your phone number. So I'm not going to put my phone number, but like that, and then you could put another one with a computer, and I will put my email here like that, and do a few of your hashtags. So branded hashtags, hashtag EXP Realty, hashtag EXP.
Not too many?
Yeah, 2 or 3. Any more just looks a bit annoying. And then maybe hashtag real estate. Use the capitals as well, emphasizes it. Headline is what sits here. So let's get in touch. Could work perfectly. And put an emoji there as well. Description, leave that. Call to action, use learn more. Learn more is the best because it does download, and that stuff implies that you got to do something for it. Learn more is more just like you think, I'm just going to be reading about it.
It's not as much of a hard sell, you know what I mean? I think it's psychologically it makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Here, destination, this is important. I'm not going to run through how to create the form because it's very self-explanatory, but you press create form and it will make something along the lines of this. So this is ad to get agents for EXP Realty. So you'll press next and it will go to this page, grabs your info, review, and then thanks, all set. And that'll get sent to your email linked to your ad account. and it'll be put into your leads center, which you'll find once you create your ad account. From there, if you've got your CRM connected and website connected, you can set up website events so you can see people who've gone to your website. And look, that's about it. The other thing I would put in is your website. So you want to, if people don't click on your ad or on your form, you want them to at least either ring you, email you, or go to your website. So that's sort of how you want to structure it. And from there, it's all about publishing. It should take a few hours before it publishes, and just look at it each day, look at the results. You might not get results in the first 1 or 2 days, but after the third day, if you're not getting anything, it's either going to be your demographics or your ad creative. So maybe you need to expand your demographics a bit. Maybe you need to narrow it in. Maybe you're too broad, or maybe your ad creative isn't catching people. People don't want what you're offering, or it's not engaging enough. So they're sort of the reasons why that won't work. But basically what you do is you press publish, and away that goes.
And it's not personal, is it? I mean, again, you're trying to sell someone something what they're not looking for at that moment in time. So don't take it personally, but I do think what you're saying there at the end is imperative too. You've got to be tracking, what you put out there. Don't just write a check effectively and just put it out there. Track it, and then you have the ability to tweak it to where you feel it needs to be better. So
yeah,
spot on.
It's the power of Facebook ads. You can track everything, which is really important, which you couldn't do with billboards and stuff. You could you'd have to track about your new clients coming in. Where here you got hard data of reach, impressions, results, website data, all that sort of stuff.
Well said. I think that's good advice. It's a lot, but in 15 minutes, I think it's a really great starting point, Max. And this is something that you do professionally too. So I think if people, come to want to learn more, then they can reach out to you directly. They've already got your email address.
Yeah. Well, if you go to my website, maxi.com.au, I've got heaps of free content on there on how you can use your Facebook ads and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, no, it's a lot of work, which is why I try and stay away from making Facebook ads for heaps of people, because it's just, you can't just give it to them and let them manage it. You've actually got to charge them while it's running, because it's just, there is so much work to manage it. But when you put in the work, it does deliver the results.
Brilliant. Great advice. I enjoyed that, and I took some notes as well, so I'm looking forward to seeing if I can implement it now and speak from experience. So thank you.
No, that's all good, Barry. I hope you found some value and all the audience finds value in this.
Too right. Good man. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Barry.
Thank you.